one point in the early years in Paris when he was feeling extremely discouraged. He was just getting nowhere. And he went to see Picasso, and Picasso said, get in line, wait your turn, just pretend you're waiting for the subway. It's inevitable that you will meet a failure, or two, or three, or four. At the same time, the art itself, the product of that obsession, that obsessive kind of way of working, is the paradigm for all that is free and spontaneous.
All right, so if you can't already tell, I have obviously moved in. Someone is calling me on WhatsApp. Anyways, this is where I'm going to be staying for probably a long time, to be honest with you. But yeah, as you saw, there's a lot going on here, so I'm just going to give you guys like a whole walk around and just kind of show you the stuff that I think is cool here. I don't know if you guys saw my TikTok, but this sofa right here was actually different at first, and it took forever to move in because I was waiting on this middle piece right here, which you can kind of see still the wrinkles in it, because this actually came in a box. This is from a place called Rove Labs. It was like $1,500. The other one was around $30,000 from B&B Italia. So this one is probably the better option to have in here. But yeah, this is kind of like the living room setup. We have the coffee table right here. We got a Nintendo Switch, which never gets used, and Apple TV, and then a TV remote for this Bang & Olufsen TV. I hope I said that right. And these are like the type of speakers I got in my car. But yeah, this is not a coffee table, obviously. This is actually a case, I guess you would call it, for some art. And then under it, we've got a bunch of books kind of creating legs. And then right here, this is probably the most obvious like piece in the house. It's actually custom, so you can buy these separately, these like Mario Testino things. We got the pink one and the green one, and then the whole box is built. So this is kind of like almost like a styrofoam type of material. I don't know if you can tell by me scratching it, like an ASMR video. And they're just angled, so that way it looks like it's almost like floating. And then running along the back here, I have these Go V lights. So the remote for that is just right here, which this should probably get painted black. And then coming over here from the living room, it goes directly into the kitchen. We have these clear bar stools here. And then an absolutely beautiful countertop. This is all marble. And yeah, it's fucking marble. Another book here on this little stand, which we have another one right here on a giant stand. I know you guys saw that earlier. Over here, kitchen, pretty basic. I actually just stocked up the fridge. Got a whole bunch of groceries. Let's see, what do we got? Yeah, maybe I didn't. We got a little bit of berries left, some milks, some eggs, waters, pomegranate juice, more waters, some butter. These are the best butters, by the way, the Vital Farms. And then the freezer, which is actually pretty small, and it still has the plastic on it because it's like brand new. But we got some stuff from Trader Joe's here, some of the pastas, some orange chicken down there. Oh my God, these are so good. And then some rice. These are the easy microwavable ones. Those are the best microwavable rice. Please get them. And above the kitchen, I don't know how easy it is to see right now, but we have this mirror up here. So when you're sitting here in the bar stools, let's say, for example, you're sitting right here and you look up during the day, you get the whole island view because there's an island right out there. And you basically just don't lose your view. Like, it's not like you're looking at the kitchen anymore. You can just kind of look up, which is a little bit awkward, but it's better than not having it. And then coming over here, we have my desk right next to a bathtub. So you might be like, why the fuck is there a bathtub right there? And you know, that is a pretty good question. My desk right here, you guys know this setup. It's a relatively simple setup, but it looks really, really good. This chair I got on DoorDash. Well, I got it from Staples technically, but I actually ordered this on DoorDash when I first moved to Miami because I did not want to go and get a chair, which is pretty ridiculous, to be honest. And then microphone. This is a Logitech microphone. I have some Logitech wireless keyboard. I'm not sure what type of mouse that is, some gamer shit. And then I have the Focusrite Scarlett Solo right here to power my mic and the speakers. So I have the Yamaha HS8s. The monitor is the Samsung Odyssey 49-inch. The desk is from IKEA. This is Carlby. I think it's somewhere around 70 inches long, so it's actually pretty big. And then it's sitting on top of these two Alex drawers, which just open like that versus the ones that have all the other things, because I just didn't want to build out like 5 drawers because I don't even use them. But yeah, it's actually starting to bow. I don't know if you guys can tell. That's probably not too good, but whatever. This tabletop was like $200, so I can just get another one in the future if I really want to. And it's not like the monitor's that heavy, so I don't really know how it's bowing. I could add some sort of support beam in the middle, but Then it just kind of, you can't really push your chair in all the way. And then the computer, this actually matches it extremely well. This case does. This is the Fractal Designs North XL. And as far as specs go, I don't really know. I have some sort of new i5, which probably isn't even new anymore, even though I just got it. And then some AMD graphics card. It's not good at all. This setup was like $800, I believe. And then we got my bedroom right here, which is, you know, again, just completely out in the open. Someone commented on my TikTok the other day. They're like, why is bro in a parking garage? I think it's pretty sick, to be honest. But yeah, bed right here, very basic, just gray bed sheets, wooden bed frame, has like a headboard thing, and then a cause thing above that, which this one is actually the same as the one over there. They're actually like blankets, if you can, I don't know if you can see this, let me see. Yeah, you can see that. They're actually blankets, they're not pictures. And then coming over here, we have my closet, which is almost like a storage unit / closet. Got my jackets over here and stuff that I don't really wear, and then the stuff I actually do wear is over here. So this is like gym clothes, and this is like outside clothes. But I just wear gym clothes pretty much every single day because, I don't know, it's way more comfy than putting all this shit on. And then my shoes, I got rid of a lot of shoes. I had 32 pairs of shoes, and now I'm down to, I don't even know how many this is. One of you guys can count it. And then coming over here, we have the bathroom right here, which is very, very beautiful. But the bathroom here, like the walls are pretty crazy because this is all one piece. Like, I don't know if you can tell from here all the way over to there is all one piece. There is a piece in the middle, but these are giant, giant pieces of marble. And then the mirrors here are just hanging, like there's nothing behind them. They're fully mounted in the ceiling. And honestly, they might be a little bit too high because, I don't know, it's a little weird. I can see everything I need to, and I just like shave here. That's pretty much all I use this for. But they might have to come down like maybe a little bit. I think if they came down right to here, that would be absolutely perfect. And again, I told you guys this place is a little bit weird, but I like it. And like all these tiny little details to me are just extremely important. Like, look at this thing. We got the golden cross map tomahawk. It's just stuff like that that really completes a place. All right, so really quickly, if you guys don't know what I do, you probably should have figured that out by when I showed my computer screen, but I trade stocks for a living. And a lot of people ask me, do I day trade? Do I swing trade, what it is? So I'm just gonna answer a couple of those questions. I am a swing trader, which means that I hold positions overnight. So this can be anywhere from 1 day, it can be 1 week, it could be 1 month, it could be 2 months. You really don't know, but I'm not a day trader, so I would consider myself almost like more of an investor. An investor who actively manages his positions. And another question people keep asking me is, do I have a funded account? Do I do any of that stuff? No, I do not have a funded account. That is like the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. When I started trading, there were no funded accounts. Like, this did not exist. And honestly, when this came out, a lot of people got into trading, and a lot of people do not know what they are doing. People also accuse me of having rich parents, which is definitely not the case as well. I don't know if you guys follow me on Twitter or TikTok, but I posted a video, and I actually posted a tweet as well of when I paid off my parents' debts. I would not be in this position before I do something like that. Like, yeah, sure, I did buy a Lambo first and a different house and 2 other cars, but you know, I did have that intention the entire way, and I made sure that I was able to do that. So no, I do not have rich parents. They do not give me money. I give them money. And then another like super common question is how I actually got into trading. And I got into trading when I saw some kid in my school make around $400,000. This is a kid that I knew extremely well, and I was like, dude, what are you talking about? 400K? Like, we're in high school. And this was very early in high school. This was like freshman year. So I'm like, yo, 400K, like this dude's rich for life. And at the time, I was just starting to get into online stuff. I was doing like drop shipping. I also had jobs at the time. I was cycling through jobs, just trying to figure out what worked. And I saw him do that, and I was like, yo, this is it. Like, this is what I want to do. And so I just kind of got into it, just started looking things up over and over and over. And I was like, how else would I approach any sort of skill set if I wanted to learn? Well, I'd look up who the best people are, I'd watch them, and then I'd apply that and keep learning. And there was also a YouTube channel called Trader Lion. They post a bunch of podcasts with like high performing traders. And majority of these people had the exact same idea, the exact same systems, not the exact same, but a very similar approach. And I was like, well, this is the fucking approach. You know, the best people who are performing extremely well are all have the same type of approach. I'm not going to do anything different. And all of them were swing traders. They were all trading breakouts. And I was like, yeah, this is it. So, you know, I kind of built up my own type of system from that. But there's only so many ways you can actually put the system. But I built up like the core foundation of it from them, and then just started trading more and more and more, and then ended up applying my own concepts or my own findings to it. And that's just kind of what got me to where I am now. And even now, I'm still applying new things. I'm still learning new things. And then the other one that I have is how to deal with parents not believing in you. So I was never put in this situation. My parents had always believed in me. Of course, you know, there's times I would come home and they'd be like, you are absolutely failing in school, but you're probably going to do something. They kind of wanted to see something. So like, if it's not going to be school, like, just do fucking something. And I was like, damn, you're right. Like, and I kept trying, you know, started working jobs. Like I was doing all sorts of stuff. I worked at Jiffy Lube. I actually did residential and commercial electric work where I was literally crawling in like crawl spaces, like attics, which I can't show you because I don't have an attic here. But, you know, above the house and below the house and wiring stuff up. I don't know if those houses are working now because I was like 16, 17. I was not licensed. But yeah, they kind of just wanted to see me do something. So I was doing at least something to fulfill like their needs in that sense. But they knew from me like how ambitious I was that I was going to do something and I was going to make it work because that's the attitude that I had going into everything. I used to skateboard a lot and my dad would take me to the skate park like almost every single day, like when he would get home from work or whatever. And I started skating when I was like 5 actually. But I would go to the skate park and I'm like, if I want to do something, like I'm going to fucking do it. And I'm going to sit there until the lights turn off. And no matter what, I'm just going to keep going. And he would also push me too. I remember when we lived in this like 800 square foot apartment, we would go over to the park next door and there was this basketball court. And he said, because I was like, I want to learn how to kickflip. And he's like, all right, you're going to kickflip around this basketball court the entire time. Like you have to go all the way around the edge of it, consecutively landing a kickflip, or you are not coming home. And let me tell you, by the time I did that, it was fucking pitch black outside. I started in the morning. But guess what? I learned how to kickflip and I went home after I learned how to kickflip and I did it all the way around there. Next time I wanted to do one, butter. But in terms of like dealing with them not believing in you, because like I said, I didn't really get put in that position, I would say you kind of have to ask yourself the question of, are you living to fulfill your dreams or someone else's? I know that can be extremely difficult because like your parents have an extreme influence on you. Majority of you guys are in a situation where your parents pay the bills, so you do have to listen to them. But listen to them and do something that's going to take you out of that situation. I'm not saying get away from your parents, they're bad people, but I'm saying get into a position where you can live on your own and you don't have to abide by certain rules so you can continue to do what you want and what you love, whatever it is. But yeah, for me personally, never in my life would I let someone tell me that I can't do something or I'm not doing good or whatever it is. Like I'm going to do it regardless. And that's just kind of the approach that I've taken on it. Like, yeah, sure, you'll have, you know, attitude given back to you or you'll come into conflict. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like, now I got a Lambo, now I pay for their stuff. They're pretty happy and like they didn't give me the hardest time though, like I said. But yeah, that's kind of my 2 cents on life, I guess, a little bit. Oh, and also I wanted to show you guys, I posted this reel, that sounds so stupid. But I posted this reel right here. You can see this is when I lived in my parents' house. This wasn't a bad place. This place is like, I think $3,000 a month. But I posted this like 4 years ago. I think I actually recorded this like 5-6 years ago or something. This was like around the time when I first started trading. And you can see the AC here going into the window. I remember buying this at Home Depot. I bought those shades on Amazon. And then I bought the floors at Home Depot too. These are like vinyl sticker floors because the floors were orange. Oh, I also painted the walls. The walls were brown. And then I had no AC, so this window would just get like steamy every single time. I was basically just like dripping in sweat, like staring at a chart, which now I'm sitting in a beautiful home with AC staring at a chart on an ultra wide monitor. But yeah, this is like where my bed was. This is an IKEA bed. And then my AC I built from Home Depot. There's like a piece of plywood here behind the window. And then to the right, like right here was my closet. And that's where I ended up putting my desk in. It was kind of like built into the wall almost. But yeah, it's just crazy how shit changes. And it's like little stuff like that. I'm thinking, I'm like, dude, I didn't even have AC. Coming next to my channel, I'm going to drop that whole series on like how to trade start to finish or how to swing trade, how to trade my strategy, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, definitely be sure to look out for that because that is going to change a lot of your guys' lives. I know you guys are going to fucking love that. You guys have wanted me to post this for so long. I've just been doing stuff. I've been in the middle of moving. I've been, you know, building things. But now it is officially time. All right, guys, I will see you when that video drops.